Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I have two union reads and a twin flame read. The first one is the 3D, 4D, 5D read. The second one is the 4D, 5D, 6D read, and then the twin flame. And the union reads are pretty quick, and then we'll get into the twin flame read. So let's go ahead first and take a deep breath. Clear the air a bit. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. I'm going to show you the reads. This is read number 1. This is the 3D, 4D, 5D read. So again, this is 3D, 4D, 5D, and when I do the 4D, 5D, this will be 4D, 5D, 6D. This is the incoming divine feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies here of the sun, the underlying energies, and then the exit card here, the final card of the read. And then the second one here is the 4D, 5D, 4D, 5D, 6D. The vertical columns are the feminine on the left, the masculine on the right, the bridge between in the center. And then here is the twin flame read that's actually in front of you now. This is the main read for it, the main cards, which is the SIRIAN STARSEED deck. And then here is the full read that's in front of you now, okay, for the twin flames. All right, so this first union read, 3D, 4D, 5D, was done on the 21st. So yesterday, it's 10:19 now. It was 10:17 when I started this read. So 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 17 is the Star, and 19 is the Sun. It just turned to 20, which is the Judgment card. And today's the 20 and the 21st, which is the World, which was yesterday. Going into today, which is the 22nd, which is the Fool, the new beginning, the open heart, and the leap of faith. So I did this first union read at 3:39, which is the Empress and the Knight of Cups. Remember, the Empress isn't just the Empress, but she's also abundance and Gaia energy, all about the mother energy. And this 3D, 4D, 5D union started with the Sun and the underlying energy, the Knight of Wands in the middle, and then the Karma card at the end, which is the Judgment card, or the 20. And with the Sun of the 19. So 19 and 20 just came up on the clock, and they just came up for the cards as the underlying and then the closing card with the Knight of Wands in the middle. Energized to get going, to decide, to be open. The incoming divine feminine was the 6 of Cups, King of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. Loving children and fond memories, as the King of Swords is diving deep and being friendly. The master of his thoughts and social, finding peace in deep waters. Master of thoughts and words, and I've been getting master of the house a lot this week. To think and feel before speaking, and love each other before thinking. Exposing all, springtime and sun, full energy and friends from the past coming together to share thoughts of peace and going with the flow. In the 3D here, we had transition, the Page of Cups, and then the shadow. And there's been a lot of energy also, before I forget to tell you, around gifts. So the present moment's been coming up as a gift or a present. So a lot of that energy, and Santa Claus was coming up with that as well. And so just being Santa Claus, right? Being charitable and gift giving. So in the 3D here, the divine feminine's out of 3D, done. The divine masculine in the shadow web, the grid, facing his shadow, doing shadow work, bridging by the Page of Cups between them, open, innocent heart. The 4D is the 8 of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. The divine feminine out of the woods, released from thoughts, and the divine masculine, the 2 of Cups, making friends with himself, bridging by the Knight of Wands with a slow burn, rushing in to connect and release with each other. In the 5D is the 6 of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the 3 of Wands, the divine feminine sharing and being charitable, the divine masculine present with gift and flame and open heart, bridging by the Lovers, the rainbow, perhaps toxins here, with a question mark, grease, oil, gasoline coming up, and running on empty. And so that song may be coming up as well. Running on empty. Is that Jackson Brown? I can't remember. All right, so letting off steam from the root, ignition to orange, yellow flowers, green hair, blue and purple cards and colors everywhere in the 5D connection. So you might have been seeing like all of the rainbow colors. They may be coming up as you progress in your day in all different ways. The Divine Feminine is the transition out of the 3D to the 4D release of thoughts and the 5D balanced sharing. The Divine Masculine, the 3D shadow, reflecting and seeing the shadow self, the 4D true connection, and the 5D gift of the flame and the present, and the bridge being the light of the 3D Page of Cups, the innocence, and the 4D Knight of Wands, the slow burning flame, coming together as lovers. As the 3D dark, unnatural death comes up, the 4D player, coupled with twin and release, and 5D breakup and or no affection, or settling out and looking back, or alone at present. Or maybe that is your gift to yourself. The outgoing Divine Masculine is the Page of Pentacles, the reflection and strength, curious about abilities, with Hermit shedding light to break out of karma, the tiger through the ring of fire, and through the crown to the plasma ether. So a lot of the dark and the light were coming up here. So even the bridge here, the bridge coming up as the Page of Cups and the Knight of Wands coming together as lovers, but then the lovers could be the reversed energy as well, which was being reflected in the energy there. So again, perhaps the 3D Page of Cups, but we also had the transition and the Devil card next to it, around it, right? Which would be an unnatural death. And then the 4D player, dealing with that energy, and then the 5D breakup or affection, which may not be your breakup at all in the 5D, but is the way that you're coming together in the 5D. So the outgoing Divine Masculine being curious about their abilities, with the Hermit shedding light to break out of karma, the tiger through the ring of fire, and through the crown to the plasma ethers. The number grid came up as a total of 31 here, which is the 5 of Wands. Where it can be conflict and battle, it also can be games and playing and acting and the pursuit of happiness and expansion. The horizontal pillars came up as 9, 10, and 12, or the Hermit, the Wheel, and the Hangman. And the vertical pillars came up as 6, 6, 14, and 5, the Lovers times 2, or the Twins, and the Angel and Hierophant, or Sagittarius and Taurus, and a lot of Gemini, also having Virgo, Libra, and Capricorn or Pisces there. The Hermit, destined to hang out and shoot the shit, and the Queen of Pentacles, patient angel, committed to the pursuit of happiness and expansion, was coming up here. But as well, like I said, the Twins with Gemini and the Lovers. So the second union read was the 4D, 5D, 6D. And this was done at 4:14, 4 being the Emperor and 14 is the Temperance, the angels, the higher love. So the underlying energy in this read was abundance, or the Empress. The middle card was the 4 of Wands, or the Union, and the closing card was the 7 of Pentacles, which for me in the SIRIAN Starseed deck is the Divine Feminine in the E Tower. It's her heart in the E Tower, like Rapunzel in the Tower. So it was so weird. I was at my friend's yesterday, who I haven't seen in a long time because it was their birthday. And the day before, I told you about Carrie coming up in the code line, and 50 came up, which is like Hawaii 50, but also the age 50, which comes up again today, somebody's birthday being 50. And then Hawaii 50 came up, and the name was Carrie, around a photographer. And I told you that the only Carrie I know is a photographer. And then the movie I watched after I did that read was a movie where the friend was Carrie and she was a photographer, and she ended up she wasn't the main character in the beginning of the movie, but she ended up being the main character. So those two names came up, and I was telling her about that yesterday. And then I realized all of the syncs that were there when I was with her. And I didn't realize the Hawaiian connection until I got home. But I asked her, she had gotten a tattoo on her arm, and I asked her what the symbol was. And it was a Hawaiian symbol. So I didn't realize Hawaii 50 was coming up again. And then she was talking about somebody whose birthday was coming up in May, that would be that, like, around that 50th birthday. Again, and my friend has twin kids, so I was in the house with twin kids. And we were talking about argon and Merkabas, and one of her daughters had a tattoo, and it had a Merkaba on it, but she didn't even realize that that was a Merkaba. So it was really funny, just all the connections that were coming up there. And there's been a lot of energies of Bills coming up. Bill, Billy, Will, any of the William energies coming up this week. So there's 40, 50, 60 read, with the abundance being the underlying energy, the Four of Wands union in the middle, the Seven of Pentacles, the Divine Feminine's heart, and the E-Tower at the end. The Mother, Gaia, Empress. The abundance home is the castle. In the Divine Feminine's heart, and then I was getting that energy of the E, which is the same as the M on its side, and the 3 and the W, right? It's like a rolling stone. EM3W, Tower. All welcome in the home, the E-Tower, yet the Divine Masculine stays outside, or feeling like an outsider here. The incoming Divine Feminine being transitioned, the Two of Cups and the Four of Cups, out of 3D transit through the tunnel, like going through a Lincoln Tunnel or something like that, the 4D bridge, away from the cups, the island unto themselves, starting over in love, her and her lucky star, brightening another's day in 4D. In the 4D is the Queen of Wands, Six of Cups, and Queen of Cups. The Divine Feminine with Fire, Aries, friend, the Divine Masculine with the Queen of Cups, friend, or water. It was very interesting too, because here the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups are coming up on the feminine masculine side. And when I did a read for my friend yesterday, she had the Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed in her read that I did. So there's very much that energy about friends coming together, perhaps sisters as well, old friends perhaps that you haven't seen in a while. But again, the Queen of Wands coming up is the Aries energy, which we're coming into now from Pisces to Aries, and then the Queen of Cups, which can be Pisces energy. So it can represent that transition from the water to the fire. But it's not just water to fire, it's the end of the year to the beginning of the year, which is a big transition, especially since now is the beginning of Aquarius, right? And the age of Aquarius. So bridging in the 4D, remember the bridge is the 4D, and the Six of Cups, close friends and kids between them, or issues between sisters, perhaps sisters-in-laws not getting along, or women or girls from both sides coming together, or fell out in the past. The Divine Feminine giving love to the Queen of Wands and twins, and the Taurus, there's Taurus, Scorpio, Capricorn, and perhaps that Pisces to Aries energy being on the cusp as well, and Capricorn here. Meeting under the bridge with orange flowers, which is so funny, in the car there are orange flowers, and I brought her orange roses yesterday. Across the waters, Eat, Pray, Love, Julia Roberts, Fiery Scorpio, the Divine Masculine in the shallow water, the Queen of Cups in deep watery Taurus, Hawaii for 50th birthday, or sending them, and that could be an anniversary as well, Hawaii for 50th, or sending them alone, or sending the Queen of Cups and the kids by themselves. And or there could be a Queen of Cups who's getting new boobs, or someone telling them they can have Hawaii or new boobs, but they can't have both. Or the Divine Feminine's Queen of Wands and the Divine Masculine's Queen of Cups are childhood friends. And in the 5D here is the Hanging Man, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Cups, the Divine Feminine hanging out with right knee block and seeing each other or meditating to clear with bent leg. And then I was getting guidance that when you bend your leg when you're lying down, which I do a lot, especially when I'm going through clearing. I do whatever my body's guiding to tell me, whatever my body's guiding me to do. And so when you bend your leg, they were showing me you're doing it for the opposite leg that's still straight. So the bending of the one leg is actually to help the other leg that's still straight. The Divine Masculine with new love, self-love, or outpouring of love, or new love for being in water. The Divine Feminine hanging out with the Queen of Wands, the Divine Masculine receiving love from the Queen of Cups. Bridging the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine in the 5D with home and union, an offer of love to hang out at the castle, putting out the drawbridge to let the 4D inner children and outer children in, or each other's friends, or making a deal for private or alone time at home and or on vacation. The 60 here is the 9 of Cups, 2 of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine getting their wish, abundant and service for 6 in the cellar with skylight. The Divine Masculine King of Pentacles, Akashics and mastering them, or crystal skulls and bridging with the twin flames. And remember in the 6D too, you're basically in Akashic records. She happy with self at service, mother with open arms. He mastering crystals outside, filtered light and crystals in the sun, bridging each other's only one. Or he goes outside when she has people in, a solarium for meditation perhaps, and the outgoing Divine Masculine on break, resting in 5D connect with Gita perhaps, committed to walking away, or walking the desert 40 days and 40 nights after meditating in Lemuria. It's like coming up as meditating in Lemuria, which can represent Hawaii as well, to Atlantis, into the desert of Egypt, and then home to the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine dealing with fire, the Divine Masculine dealing with cups or emotions. And the fire has to do with drama and passion. In the 5D union and the 6D twin flames, 2 around the world. The Divine Feminine, Taurus, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces coming up. And on the Divine Masculine side, only Taurus, or commitment to himself. And it was definitely the feeling of him needing alone time, like to meditate while sending maybe a partner or kids away on a vacation, a present to them so that he can have some quiet time. The 5D home together, the 60 around the world in 80 days. So again, 5D being home together in union, and the 60 around the world in 80 days. And then the grid was coming up as the number 47, which is the 7 of Cups, the heaven in your eyes, the synchronicities. And the horizontal pillars coming up as 18, 5, and 24. The moon, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Wands. And then the vertical pillars also came up with the Queen of Wands, with the 2, 4, which is the Queen of Wands, the 9, 12, 1, 4, and 15, which is coming up as the Queen of Wands, the Hermit, the Hanging Man, and the Angel and the Devil on each shoulder, right? So synchronicities, options, and heaven in their eyes. The nighttime, the full moon, the illumination of the moon, and the shade. The romance and the feelings of marriage, religion, establishment, and the Queen of Wands. We have Cancer, Taurus, Queen of Wands, and then Queen of Wands with Virgo and Capricorn, or Pisces on the other side. The Hanging Man with Angel and Devil on each shoulder, just like an Animal House. Service for 9, but crystal for 7. And you notice 7 plus 2 is 9, so 2 twin flames. So service for 9, but crystal only for 7, perhaps gifts to the people you're having over. The King of Pentacles and the Empress dine. He as the table header. And him saying here, he's never far from her heart. She, even though he's at the, if you have table headers where they're each on each end of the table, and that's a big table with a lot of party guests in between, it was the masculine assuring her that he's never far from her heart as she greets and he meditates. And this is regarding having people coming in. So that was the union read. Now we get to the twin flame read. And as I went to start the twin flame read, I look up at the clock and 5:05 just passed. So that passed away. And then 5 to 6, which is the 5 of the Hierophant and the 6 of the Lovers coming in. At 5:08, which 5 and 8 are greased lightning, and grease just came up along with oil and gasoline in the last read. The SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut for today's read at 5:08, late yesterday. At 5:17, which 17 is then the star, of orbs came up, which has to do with thoughts and words, but also blind men and orphans, or of or BS as well. And we complete the read at 5:28 to 29, which is the Hierophant, the 28 of the 2 flames, and the 3 flames of the 29. So the twin flames, and then the present or the gift of the moment, or just gifts in general. As I said, that energy was very much coming up about being charitable and gift giving, being Santa Claus. The twin flames here with the major arcana, the Tower, the Wheel, and Transition, which is the Death card. Before the read, Ascension came up, which is the World, Luna or the Moon, and then Higher Self, which is the High Priestess. After the read, Solar Deity or the Sun came up, as well as Alchemy, which is the Temperance card, that higher love. And then we had 2 pentacles, 1 cup, 4 swords, and 1 wand. So very heavy on the swords here of thoughts and words. Again, intellectualizing as well. So very heavy in the head here. But there's nothing wrong with intellectualizing when perhaps you're putting a creative project together or in, planning a trip, that kind of thing. But there could be obsessing a little bit as well. Let's see here. The Knight of Swords and the King of Wands were the main characters in the read. Knight of Swords, King of Wands. And the King of Wands in the SIRIAN Starseed deck is very much the shaman energy. The Knight of Swords being the one who passes 5D messages. The Queen of Swords also came up here, who is the wounded war widow with a handle on the truth. She's very much in her integrity. But in this card, she's also presented with a reed standing up, fallen in against her wrist, her right wrist, like on her pulse, like having nature always at her side. Also being the reed, which is like a rod, it's the support of the plant. After the reed, the Page of Wands and the King of Cups came up. And then the numbers in the code line here were all about nature. So again, I just brought up nature, not realizing. So nature is the energy here, and also allowing things to happen naturally. We had 44 and 88 come up here, 88 being most significant, the 8 and the 8 of the dance of the masculine and the feminine, and the balance between them side by side. The 44 of the grounding, integrating, and mastering of love of the 4 of Cups, and 44 is literally written 44-8 as well. The numbers that were most significant in the read were 4 to 5 and 7 to 8. 45 is the 5 of Cups, 78 is the 10 of Pentacles. And we also had 48 of the 8 of Cups, walking away and within, the 56 of the 2 of Swords, the 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant, and the knowing and being, and keeping to yourself. And then 10 came up in a lesser sense, just as a reminder to keep your vibration high. The code line was all about nature, and the number 15 coming from the 88 and the 7, which is 95. And 95 then reduces to 14, which is the Temperance card, the patience, or the impatience, right? The angelic energy or the fallen energy, both sides of the coin, in the crazy 8 stance, the 88 plus the 7 of the Chariot, which literally represents the 2 twins in the Chariot ascending, 95. So the F came up in the code line of the expansion and the contraction of nature, that happens naturally. The 8-8, the crazy 8s, and the 0 of human embodiment of source. The TR of the trill and the high vibration, the thrill of the what of agony and the thrill of defeat. I forget the expression, but anyway, that's coming up. And then the madman, the crazy, the silliness, all of those definitions to speak, perhaps speaking or telling your dog to speak or speaking out of line, to bellow or sack, the goat skin coming up, right? Having Capricorn skin. The madman, crazy, foolish, insane, and silly. The emperor, the 4 of structure, who feels whole, full, and complete, or perhaps full of something. So nature and the expansion and contraction, and the 7 of chalices, which is the synchronicities, the heaven in your eyes, the options that you all have of abundance in this life. The expansion and contraction of the 88 in the twin dance, the high vibe human embodiment of source, full of synchronicities, and perhaps pushing it off to later then makes it not so poetic anymore, because then you have to hurry up and do it. The energy of expansion and contraction, and then the number 880 came up, 880, which is the number for Bangladesh, but also the New York News radio station, and the number of 4x4 magic squares, and the frequency in hertz of the musical note number A5. And the gematria, the first entry for 880 was Pyramid's Altar. Okay, and I always talk about the Rock of Gibraltar, and then the Atlas and the Hercules Mountains in Africa. It's one being the Morocco, the Moroccan Atlas Mountains, but then also Hercules in the piece of Africa on the other side of the top of Africa, which is actually owned by Spain, is coming up as the Hercules Mountain. Those being the two pillars leading to the Rock of Gibraltar altar pointing towards England, and then the Strait of Gibraltar pointing towards the U.S. But also suspension of disbelief came up here, and the third entry for 880 was Donald Trump impeachment. Very interesting. So, and the altars of the pyramids. And I'm just getting now, again, the etheric altar above the Statue of Liberty. So there's something about that information coming up. So we start and again, a season, a time, that energy coming up here as we go into spring, but also the age of Aquarius. Respecting now the fool, the madman, right? The independent, the individual, the sovereign being, the one with a goat skin, right? Because the Capricorn is always very serious, right? They need a tough skin, complete with heaven in their eyes and lots of options, and mass aid along with nature or mother's aid. The tower is reversed as we start this read, and the underlying energies over here. So here's the tower, and then beneath the tower, because I have the mini cards on top, beneath the tower was Ascension reversed, or the world, Four of Wands upright, Ten of Swords reversed, Luna upright, and the higher self reversed. So the world upside down, the cycle almost over, homework or working on home, where now the worst is over, and the bliss is setting in at night, with secret passion or need to use your intuition, resisting sudden changes, or in the aftermath and a mess to clean up. Yes, or lies. The energy of lies splits and divides, and walking away and within, from the circus or the carnival or the traveling show. Juggling, performing, distracting the crowd, keeping your balls up in the air to make the Ten of Cups family happy, but perhaps it wasn't making you happy, not yourself. Holding on, saving and defending your reasons, and standing up to the family for your own happiness after sudden event or epiphany. With issues at work, receiving an offer of love from Scorpio reversed or Taurus upright and frustrated, unable to be aroused or conceive of or find humor in judgment, announcement, or wake-up call to injustice. And the never-ending or exhausting offers of love to the Hierophant, religion, establishment, or leader, or Taurus, who's married, or very traditional, with no growth, or creative blocks, or sexual blocks, or sexual frustration, or creative frustration, in a wake-up call to injustice, or Aquarius upright and Libra reversed, resisting sudden changes, or in the aftermath of sudden events and a mess to clean up. A child reaching up, asking for help, a hug or love, the injustice, and getting the short end of the stick at 628, which is the Lovers and the Twin Flames, the Two of Wands, the choice of path. Or a child awakening parents to the injustices, and this also could be the death of a child, specifically because the movie I watched the other night was about, it was the movie called Adam, and something else added to the title, but about parents whose son was killed after, I didn't see the beginning of the movie. I think it was a kidnapping, and the child was killed. So then the parents devote their life to making more awareness around this and getting state legislature passed. So very much that energy was coming up here, inspiring and awakening parents to injustices around the world, and inspiring them to change, to make changes here. And Spirit's connecting with me very deeply here. Or Taurus and Hierophant are called out by Judge and or Libra reversed, the inability to grow, or impotence perhaps, or someone complaining about the others singing. Pisces reversed, Cancer upright, and Scorpio reversed, and Taurus upright, Aquarius upright, and Libra reversed all here. Seeing synchronicities of the one, options laid out to be seen, or somebody sneaking to do more online shopping. Heaven in their eyes, in a losing battle with the Empress reversed, getting over loss, regret, guilt, or shame of the past, or again, someone may have lost a child here with the Empress reversed. Planting roots without heart, or over the fact that they didn't get their flash mob present or gift, or getting over a fight. Seeing red flags, and then the card came up, pay attention to the red flags. Beneath, stay optimistic about your love life, which was the underlying energy. Taurus reversed, and then Queen of Pentacles reversed came up, which can be a Taurus. And then the High Priestess, the Dark High Priestess here, or Dark Priestess, without keys, or no longer offering keys, or dropped the keys off already, and the Knight of Wands rushing in to rescue, to hang out with hostage and inspect every inch with a distant family member in a void dance, trying not to step on her heart, right? Being so careful about what you say and do, tiptoeing around everything, walking away when needed. The victim and savior, the same old story never ends. She makes a mess, and this is from a masculine perspective. She makes a mess and he must clean it up, or vice versa. She lights a fire and he must put it out, or pretending to not know what you are talking about. What are you talking about? The heart planted so perfectly, so he'd trip and step on it without realizing. Like, so the masculine feeling that they're set up, they can't win because they're being set up to step on their heart, no matter what they say or do. And the dessert hidden in case they don't deserve it and get their just desserts. Pisces reversed, Capricorn upright, Sag upright perhaps. Patience is number 2 with the High Priestess, and beneath that, adventure of 55, and the truth, the Ace of Swords, the Excalibur. Powerless in divide, or caught in lies, the Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help, money, or opportunity, perhaps dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities, or with a confession to recover or get back into the game, the fight, the conflict, the competition, the play, defenseless to the energies, or offense, and being ganged up on, or no excuse, or refusing to give one, catching hand signals that they've been using. And that can be somebody trying to cheat in a game also. With sweet butterflies or girls on the sidelines, and rats as well in the logs, getting to the goods while everyone else is fighting or distracted, or demanding to be let back in, or there's a sold out show or limited access engagement and people are being kept out at 648, which is the Lovers and the 8 of Cups walking away and within. Or the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Sovereign reversed, which definitely could be siblings here, accused of dropping their responsibilities and lying, or left early without permission. Defenselessness in the aftermath of sudden events of injustice and getting over it, by avoiding and walking away, by being patient or in dealing with patience at 650, the Lovers and the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. And then the underlying energy before all this was the High Priestess and the secret psychic abilities coming clean or cleaning up their act. And then after this read, coming up is the 2 of Cups, destined to receive the truth, or the Knight of Swords upright, demanding that they be let back in, along with the King of Cups reversed, the Patient Angel with the Empress reversed, the Sovereign upright, the Knight of Wands upright, Libra upright, Sag upright, and Taurus reversed here. So it's like someone trying to get back in and then wanting to pull everybody else right in with them too. And it could be someone trying to break away from the group as well and be sovereign on their own. 655 is the Lovers and the truth. In the recent past, the Transition card reversed, the Death card, the end, exhausted in the aftermath of conflict. The Queen of Swords going back and forth in energetic exchange with group or coming together, and the group is making a small offer, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or X, is ignoring or turning it down. Even though the worst is over, with Leo, ego, kids, or pets, and being strong, with the King of Pentacles reversed, taming the beast, and the King of Pentacles reversed, perhaps being a Capricorn, or the devil, the temptation, the holy devil, or horny devil, with options or seeing synchronicities, of the Queen of Swords in energetic exchange, making him crazy. Scorpio reversed, Gemini reversed, Leo and Capricorn upright here. The King and Queen of Pentacles are both reversed here. He, Capricorn, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed with Gemini or Aries or Leo in their chart. The foundation being the Wheel upright, the good fortune, the destiny, that it's time. The 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community with dysfunction or loss, with Sovereign separating from the group, taking down the field if they have to recover, getting in or getting their stuff back, or will recoup losses later, but quickly, not slow and poetic. Resisting sudden changes too long, and how it's going to be painful if necessary now, because they waited too long. The central energy is the Four of Pentacles, the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, the Fool reversed, and the Page of Pentacles reversed with Aries, or falling for the King of Wands upright with Aries in their chart. The King of Wands knowing and keeping to themselves while trying to end the nightmare by getting over it, the loss, the regret, the guilt, and the past. The challenge being the Seven of Cups, the steps required, seeing synchronicities and choices made along the way up, right? Climbing to the top. The Scrooge holding on, keeping cards close to their chest, overworking, not working, hung out to dry, or trying to see a new perspective, but refusing the surrender, to do or die. Issues at work with the King of Pentacles reversed, with temptation waving from the Hermit reversed, coming out or losing their mind, or perhaps a parent with dementia or Alzheimer's issues. Capricorn upright here and Virgo reversed. Perhaps Pisces upright and Gemini reversed as well. The Capricorn energy was very heavy there, though. Breakup, ex, crazy or over-isolating, or parent with dementia. A breakup, ex, or no affection. Juggling, performing, and present to the Knight of Pentacles, humble, loyal servant, carrying the weight of the world, the Atlas energy, or falling on their face or from grace in front of the Ten of Pentacles reversed, dysfunctional, or family with loss, or business or community. Of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, withholding, playing hardball by knowing and keeping to themselves to get over the guilt and the shame, the regret, or the one who did it to them. Now is the Knight of Swords coming clean, sharing and rising above, as the Empress is upright here with a message and tempted by the Holy Grail, and defenseless to energies coming in, with no option but to be love and spread truth without physical affection. At 7:16, which 16 is written that way, 16/7, is the Chariot and the Tower, the wake-up call for parents who are worried about their children, or have experienced child abuse, or have a child who's been abused or killed, to heal and forgive and purge and reap even when dissatisfied and unhappy with self, to heal and forgive those who refuse to wake up. Flirting, no longer flirting or no longer having casual sex, caught with their pants down at 7:20, which is the Chariot and the 20 of Judgment, in the weeds or caught in the woods. The Page of Wands inspired by the Knight of Swords under the radar, the patient angel of a higher love, the Divine Feminine in 5D, unhappy without the Emperor child, or no message, or saying bad things about them, now that the worst is over, or the bliss at night, or with Cancer present or gift. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, losing time, money, and effort on him, and he pretending he doesn't know, while getting his act together. Soon is the King of Wands shaman upright, bringing in love to the wounded warrior, or the King of Wands getting the kids, who are the wounded warrior and the Knight of Wands, to make up with each other. Very fiery energies here, which can be, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo, very much so here. Or resuming once again when they shouldn't be, or receiving or rescuing, okay. Or they're rescuing again when they shouldn't be, right? When they should be letting them rescue themselves. The Magician taking the world by storm and exposing everything. On time in the sun, or vacation, or kids, exposing what's not working with the Six of Cups, inner and outer children loving each other. The wounded warrior getting between the Hangman Capricorn or Pisces and the Knight of Wands or Sagittarius, Virgo, or Gemini upright, or Pisces reversed and Leo upright kids here, and the twin flames either overworking or not working, burdened, Atlas, frustrated with no growth, dead tired of saving or holding back for the Page of Pentacles who's in need of help, who won't ask for it, or will never learn their lesson. Destined King of Swords, or Libra in justice, or Libra upright in truth, but refuses help or never learns, when one with Libra in chart is supporting him without reward. Overwork or not working is not working out. Scorpio reversed and Libra upright and Libra reversed here. Okay, so it could be two different Libras or one who's a Libra and one with Libra in their chart. Past life relationship, free yourself, and very soon came up for the twins. And then getting to know each other. All of them came up for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Around the twins are how they're seen as the Eight of Swords reversed, released. In the Two of Cups connection, the Queen of Wands reversed may be mad, but taming her inner beast or stuck at home with the kids or pets, or she is Leo at home, perhaps released from a partnership, or roommate or housemate situation. The block here for the twins being the Five of Swords, growth, the stretching, the frog to prince, the juggling to get to the top with game face on, taking no prisoners. The Hierophant without peace or unable to get away from judgment, announcement or wake-up call or being called out. Nature comes up, right, allowing things to happen naturally, but even more so here is change, ending the nightmare, destined to be surrounded by women, and a change of life. So here's the masculine's perspective on women around them. The nightmare destined surrounded by women and change of life, or in other words, women as they learn to walk, they learn to talk, they get their periods, they start dating, they start dealing with beauty issues and intellectual issues, and then menopause in the end. The Queen of Swords upright, unhappy with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and I'm sweating a lot right now, withholding time, money, and effort and information to come clean or clean up the act or space. The Queen of Swords upright with the truth trigger on the Queen of Cups reversed, with a secret passion or needing to use their intuition, or sad about Pisces reversed or Virgo reversed, and the Queen of Swords exposing all, boldly going to clean up the King of Cups' mess. Cancer upright, Scorpio reversed, or must drive to see him as he is stuck in a nightmare situation at 743, which is the Chariot, and the 43 of the Three of Cups, and coming together. And actually 43 happens to be my son's soul number as well. And he comes up a lot in the Divine Masculine stuff in the reads. So the Page of Wands with their mask on and a burning desire, inspired and excited by fond memories of the past, a patient angel of a higher love. The King of Cups reversed, with Pisces in their chart perhaps, feeling rejected or vulnerable, and released at the same time. Moving on as the Knight of Pentacles, that loyal, humble servant offering assistance, humble and loyal servant to mother perhaps, or Page of Cups reversed, released from the King of Cups reversed to go back to work. So somebody, a father and child may be hanging out together, or one may be taking care of the other, and now they're released from that to go back to work, to move on. At 747 is the Chariot and the Seven of Cups. As the Tower is reversed or Scorpio reversed, and the injustice, so we have Scorpio and or Pisces right here. The Tower being reversed, so after the sudden events or resisting the sudden events, and the injustice destined to not work out and be released after transition of holding on to the bat cave, the Divine Masculine's heart, and challenged by steps to ascend. The King of Wands at war within to stretch and grow, with the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords, fully energized and exposing all. The Page of Wands inspired by innocent love and a higher love, with the King of Cups reversed, feeling rejected or vulnerable but loyal. After sudden transition, Scorpio reversed, defenseless to the energies, and destiny here comes up. It's just time. The Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, keeping cards close to their chest, passing 5D messages, and challenged by Ascension, the 7-step program, not working with the King of Wands shaman, and released by going through the stretching and the war within of growing up with the Queen of Swords, with a handle on the truth, sunshine and vacation, and the Page of Wands excited with soulmate connection or siblings love, and the patient angel of a higher love, and the King of Cups reversed with conditions of their love, or perhaps with alcohol issues, or just emotionally unavailable. All right, so that is the read that's coming up. And let's go ahead and pull an energy card just to summarize this. What is our takeaway from the message today? And it's 11:02 on the clock, which is 11 of Justice, which reduces to 2, which is the High Priestess. And over here we have 44, 44, as I just turned over here. So you had 4 4s there. You know, very much grounding, integrating, mastering love. Grounding, integrating, mastering love. Very angelic energies. Excuse me, of a higher love. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know and learn? For the twin flames today, what is the takeaway? Let's clear all blocks to positive energy flow in all chakra layers, auric layers, grounding and galactic cords across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all is concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and divine crystalline light, and so it is. What is our message? What is our takeaway from the read today? All right, 2 cards came out together. We have 34 of the 8 of Wands. Again, opening up the windows, letting the fresh air in, bringing nature inside, the door to personal healing and happiness, right? Being one with nature and pure to your heart, being authentic and being natural. Nature is very significant today. 53 is the magician in the mirror. The 53 is the Knight of Swords, the one passing the 5D messages, the one perhaps without an excuse, the healer, the old man who didn't know what to do. So they decided to clean up their act or clean out their space. The magician in the mirror, looking in the mirror, right, as within, so without. So it just can be referencing to realizing that their home reflects their outer world, and right, their emotional home, their body's home as well. So they got to clean up the body as well as not just the house. And it's not about obsessing about being clean. It's just being authentic to you. What does your space look like? And then the outer world, the healing world, the messages of truth. You want them to be really spot on, right? So you want to clean up your inner world. And I'm just getting him saying, I have no excuse. I have no excuse. This is just who I am. I'm a healer. But again, it's the old man. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And this can be regarding men cleaning, right? Because most men don't like to clean, right? Some men definitely do. But it's like, and you thought you couldn't teach an old dog new tricks, and maybe he cleaned the house. That could be as simple as that as well. But it's a lot of energetic exchange, which can be cleaning up around the house. But that energy of exchange, a lot of fast-paced energy going back and forth, messages, travel, whatever it is for you, or cleaning up, and then sending messages, the 5 of Swords. So the 8 of Wands being the energetic messages back and forth between the twins, and then the 53 being the verbal messages back and forth, right? Or the 5D messages, but coming through verbal channels as opposed to energetic channels. And these 2 cards want to come out as well. The 17 of the action, of the polarities merging together, taking action. And then the 33 of the Christ vibration, standing up for oneself, which becomes then the door to romance, because you're being true to yourself, authentic, right? And this is the polarities come together, come into the heart. And then the King of Cups, the King of Wands comes up here again, the playing coy. And this can be a feminine who's acting masculine, or a masculine who's acting very feminine. Playing games, all tied up. The King of Wands was upright here. But again, it's in coming together, loving play. But the flirtation and casual sex stuff was coming up as no longer. So this is someone getting their act together and coming clean about just one, not flirting with everybody or not having casual sex anymore. It's like just coming into their authenticity, truly who they are. There also could be children involved. Again, we have the feminine energies being surrounded around the masculine. And again, these could be kids too, very opposite from each other. One who's got anxiety issues and the other one who may be too flirtatious, right? We have the moon of the moodiness and the 23 of the King of Wands. One feminine energy being very masculine and the other one being very stuck in their head. The bottom of the deck here is the first chakra, Archangel Michael, right? Safety and security issues is the basis of all fears, the 35 of the wounded warrior. And beneath that is the hostilities, okay? The anger issues of the Page of Wands. When they're not inspired or they're frustrated, that's a block. And it's all around the fear of not having a home, right? Where your heart is your home. This is the fear of not having a home or starvation, which all of us have that in our DNA. So it's, rebuilding the foundation, the root structure here, which is the dark night of the soul. It's the whole thing crumbling down so that you can rebuild it from scratch and build a really strong foundation before coming up to the other chakra layers. So let's go into, and again, this could be issues with, this is the father, your foundations of fear and your root chakra stemming from your parents. Perhaps this is a father coming up as this feeling like all of your issues came from your father. And now maybe your father was an alcoholic. We have the King of Wands coming up here. And now he's cleaned up his act. He's no longer drinking. He's purifying himself. It's like, what can I say? It's really interesting because that's coming up. My kid's dad is a functional drinker. And he's had 2 strokes. And my son's actually taking care of him now. And my son's keeping him away from the cigarettes, the alcohol, and anything else he might want to do. So, yeah, he's been, since he went to the hospital, he hasn't had anything. So there's definitely those energies coming up. All right, so let's see here. From the Journey of Love. Journey of Love. Okay. Simplicity, the 4 of the Emperor again. Keeping it simple. Right? We have a little mouse, perhaps a mouse or a little piglet, and a bird in the sky and a blade of grass, keeping it very simple. Oh, look at that. Both these never come out together. I mean, there's very few white cards in this deck, and these are 2 of them. I don't know if there's more. Might be 1 more. So we have the 4 and the 14. Oh, that's so funny. That's when the read was done at 4:14 today. The Emperor and the Temperance card, being very patient, being the patient angel, light as a feather, allowing the fall, keeping things simple. And if you fall, you fall. But it's so light, it doesn't really matter because you fall gently. Very interesting. Then we have Sweet Soul Rising after that, which is the 20, which came up. It's 11:11 on the clock and 53:05 here, which is the Knight of Swords and the 5 of the Expansion, or the Hierophant, the Freedom and Change. Sweet Soul Rising, and then the intimacy of the 35 and the Wounded Warrior. So it's like the judgment of the Wounded Warrior, but being judged by an innocent child, so it makes it okay. There's a bonding moment here between the Emperor and the child, or the Emperor and his inner child, right? The Page of Wands or the Page of Cups, whichever comes up. Okay, we have very sweet energy here to keep it simple and pure. The innocent child and the lightness of the feather, the ethereal, the falling, the being patient and being of a higher love, and being in control of your thoughts and feelings. So keep your thoughts simple. And the sweet soul rising of judgment of self, but coming from the judgment of the child, it's okay, right? As long as it's done with love and care. And it's like the child taking care of the father, saying, no, you can't do that. It's not good for you. And the bond that deepens with here between the judgment of the child and the Wounded Warrior coming together, helping them come together into the vortex of their own being, the intimacy between them, the intimacy with oneself by keeping it simple and taking all the extraneous out of their life. Again, someone having an event or an illness or an injury, And all of a sudden, they're stripped of all the things they normally used to do. And all of a sudden, life becomes so much more simple. And maybe finding, brand new perspectives in life of closeness with a loved one. It's a very beautiful energy. And again, this references the masculine and the feminine as well, coming together. Being sweetly judged, but being judged by someone who loves you and only wants the best for you and isn't really telling you what to do, but maybe caring for you and helping you to rebuild a strong foundation. Nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. But certainly someone who loves you is going to want to try to help you not do the things that are hurting you. So her grace is the underlying energy, the 17 of the star. And then grace and ease was coming up with this card this week. Her grace. My mother's middle name was Grace. So funny because my mother, we have a Jewish background. My mother, her name was Mary Grace, which is very Christian. And she hated her name Grace because that was her aunt's name and she didn't like her Aunt Grace. So it's really funny that now she keeps coming up with this. The ease and grace here of the 17 and the star, shining your light and healing, and the earthly angel of 54, the page of swords, getting the message out. And the rainbow colors here. That little light of mine, right? All of the beautiful colors of yourself, your authenticity, with grace and ease. You don't have to push your point across. You just have to be yourself with grace and ease. It's like being the star of your own show just by being. There's nothing you need to force or do. You just need to be you. And that's coming up too about the sweetness of the child. Just being their natural self, especially in dealing with a parent. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And the bond, when you just keep it simple and take all the extra world crap away out of the situation, it all becomes more clear. The intimacy between two people. Okay. Very interesting. And it's definitely coming up more so regarding the father than the mother today, but the mother in this read was also coming up as the commitment to the mother. And the need to help the father, but it can also go both ways depending on your situation specifically. So let's go ahead and read number 4, simplicity. All right, bow to that which is simple. You will find answers to your most complex issues and those questions that seem to defy possibility of an answer. You'll find the solution now through simplicity. Live one day at a time. Have gratitude for whatever you possibly can, even if you are yet to understand why you should be grateful, because you cannot perceive the gift hiding within your struggles quite yet. Trust in the goodness of life, seeking to serve you and becoming the fullness of all that you are. Yes, beloved, even in your darkest night, the light of love is serving you. The most sophisticated of problems can be resolved through a simple answer. Love. Trust. Have faith. Be patient. Wait and you shall see. Let simplicity be. This oracle brings you an answer. Everything is going to be all right. Don't add fuel to the fire and look for ways to sort out complicated matters prematurely. Right? Allow them to happen naturally. Sometimes ingredients need to cook and percolate so that they can become a meal. The circumstances with which you are struggling will right themselves in time. Stay present and be patient. Pray in your own way, meditation, time in nature, dance, and literally talk to the divine. When you need to take a clear, simple action, you will feel it. Relax and know it's all going to work out for the best. And the poem simply states, there is peace for one whose heart is open. Okay? Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to read falling too, because they're both the same kind of energy, and the 414 came up. So 14 is falling. Don't worry, you may fear you're falling, but it's just your soul diving deeper into the ocean of bliss. Are you sensing parts of your life flying away from you, out of your control, as the momentum of your divine surrender takes over and becomes more powerful than the old adhesive between you and what no longer serves? Laugh, cry, celebrate, and ponder. Whether it makes sense or not, your perfectly ripe fruit, falling from the universal tree, succulent and ready to be enjoyed for all that you are now. If you wait any longer, this moment will be lost, and that energy was coming up too in the read. This moment will be lost if you wait. And that came up in the movie where he waited too long to kiss her and he lost the moment. And you'll end up on the ground having to decay and go to seed in order to start the whole process again. This is not so bad, but what a shame if your sweet nectar was not to be savored by a hungry world. You deserve to be declared the most delicious, juicy fruit that ever was. So fall. You'll end up exactly where you're meant to be. This oracle contains a message for you. You're being called closer into divine union and into fulfillment of your destiny now. It's safe for you to trust what's happening. Go with it. It might seem like you're being asked to take a leap of faith. It's the right timing for that. It's your time to give yourself in love without holding back anything of yourself. Is it wrong to love, to feel what I hold inside? The answer must wait. Rise and be loved, guys. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.